Hi, I'm Exactly Nerf, and today I'm going to be doing an honest review of the Adventure Force Aeon Pro. This thing is an absolute powerhouse. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go into the externals. Now this has this cool magazine adapter. So if you want, I don't have any full lengths here, but it can take full lengths. It shoots full lengths pretty hard, but not nearly as accurate, of course, because they're full lengths. And then it comes with this nifty half dart adapter, which takes their magazines, Talon magazines, and if I had katana magazines, I could demonstrate that it could take katanas. Now this is going to be fairly basic for some of you who have seen the reviews and aren't living under a rock. But this magazine, how it does that is it has two notches, one for talons and one for katanas. And when you press the release down, both of them retract into the shell thing. Now, this is dry fire safe, but I wouldn't recommend dry firing it too much. It'll, your blaster's life won't be as long. If you want to, you can. The grip is very comfortable. It's the same one as the Nexus, because this is basically a little Nexus. And my high schooler hands fit well in it, as well as my dad's fully adult hands. The slide is very chunky, but for a good reason, because it's a stiff prime. And something that you should note is the slide just does this. And when you prime it, there's no lock or anything like that. And I find that a little bit annoying when I'm trying to reload and I push down, but that's just my preference. It has an ambidextrous safety. See, right now it's hot. I can pull the trigger. When I press this down, I won't be able to, and I can access that just with this super easily. It has a rail here. I'm fairly certain that that's like a standard Picatinny, but if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. And lastly, let's just admit that the quality of plastic isn't super amazing. It's not horrible, but in order to make this super affordable at $25 and hit like a champ, they had to kind of downgrade on their plastic quality. And also it comes with this cool muzzle attachment. I think it's the same one as the Nexus. Don't quote me on that. Like I said, I've never had a Nexus. This is the only one my Walmart had, and it was in the RC section. I almost missed it. That would have been a shame. But it just friction fits in there. The friction fits pretty well. It's airtight, but I usually like it without it. It's not the best looking blaster, but it's better looking without the muzzle, in my opinion. You might really like it. And a cool thing about this muzzle is it can fire rivals, and if I had megas, I could show you how it could fire megas. You just load them in there like that, and you're good to go. Alright, let's get into some of the more technical stuff, shall we? So as you can see, the grip, it just comes right off. Like, just unscrew the screws and then it's gone. So I'm sure there will be a plethora of 3D printed grips that you can get. And just a little note, There was a hidden screw here that I'm sure some people would have trouble with. Here's the outer shell. This part also comes off. And now let's get into the really good stuff. You can see that there's I'd say like a 3-inch metal barrel, which I've never seen that on store shelves ever. I think the only metal parts I've seen on a blaster in the store shelf are the lever and the sentinel. It has this big kind of chunky plunger with a lot of air volume. Everything's lubricated really nicely, and it's just overall nice. I like it a lot. This catch mechanism is pretty cool. Different types of plastic, so don't know why that's super important, but it does. And I'm not a master at internals, so I'm probably missing some things. But I'd say I'm decent. And let's take a look at this. It looks like the plunger is a floating plunger. And yeah, that's an overview, a very brief and most likely excluding some things overview, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a master at internals. I'm still very much learning. But some of you might know a lot about this and say, oh wow, that's amazing, and I'll have no knowledge of it whatsoever. And, you know, while it's open like this, I think I'm going to paint it. I'm thinking like a nice, deep blue. So here it is all painted up. I really like how it came out, but it's a little bit messy because I did it quickly. So I'm going to have to redo that sometime. And now let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, the firing demo. Alright, I'm going to be putting 15 Pro darts through this. Oh, that's empty. You can see from the firing demo that this thing is extremely accurate and shoots extremely far. One even went into my neighbor across the street's yard, and I can't get to it now. And, well, my final thoughts on this thing are, I saw it in the Walmart live stream with Drac, that this is supposed to be kind of a secondary to the Nexus, and I don't think that's true at all. I think, in my opinion, it seems a little bit better than the Nexus. It's smaller, it's more compact, and it hits the same velocities about. I wouldn't consider it a secondary. I'd consider it an alternative option for those of you who, like I said, want something smaller and more space efficient instead of something much bigger, more comfortable, more customizable, and pump action. This is also way more affordable, so somebody who doesn't have $50 in money for darts can spend $25 and $10 for darts. Speaking of darts, the ones that it comes with, right here, these Pro darts, these are phenomenal darts. They're absolutely amazing. They work in all of the sealed breeches things that I have. They're not amazing for flywheels, but they work pretty well. And they work in the regular breeches, as to be expected. They're very accurate, and I do notice in the same color as Ultra. Which, in case you guys didn't know, if you've been living under a rock for a while, Ultras are awful, just absolutely awful. I mean, some of the shells in some of them are pretty good, but for what they're marketing, they're just not it. So that's been my review for the Nexus Pro. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it so much that it got a place on my wall next to the Villainator. And I only put blasters that I really like on the wall. And, well, I've been McStackly Nerf. If you like this content and want to see more, make sure to like, subscribe, and maybe comment if you want.